Hello and welcome to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 review. You've got myself, Apps, here, speaking to our general film critic here at Dimp Digital, doing his second review for us, and it's Mr. Tom Adkins.
Call, call me Barry Norman.
Call him Barry Norman. That's what you've got a lot to live up to there. So you
Well,
best produce the goods now. That's been chucked out there. Um, Guardians of the Galaxy is obviously part of the Marvel universe, but it has, I find, and I'm not a fan of much of the Marvel stuff, but I am a fan of
no.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I like the tone, I like the
Oh,
comedy, I like the sci-fi setting, as it will. Where does
yep.
your kind of interest sit with Guardians of the Galaxy in comparison to the other stuff that's going on in the Marvel cinematic universe that's been going for nigh on a decade now?
Yeah, it sits on, but pretty much on top, really.
Right.
Apart from the Avenger film,
Hmm.
I could say both of them, but really the first one. But I actually made a list. That's all I do all day is just make fucking lists. But I made a list of every Marvel film
Yeah.
that's been released. And which ones I'd seen, because I was thinking, which ones had I seen? I'm just trying to
Hmm.
find my freaking list. There isn't many.
Yeah.
Hold on, I should have had this ready. Here we go. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Barry
5, 6,
Norman would
7,
have had it
8,
ready.
9, 10. That's 10. 10 Marvel films I haven't seen, but that's including every single Marvel film that's been released, even the shit from the 80s. Like
Right.
there's that silly Howard Duck film, and
Yeah.
there was like an old Punisher film.
Yeah.
That's a 10. So I've seen pretty much. So out of that, that's probably about 80% of the Marvel Cinema Universe I've
Yes.
seen. So there's a lot I enjoyed. There's a lot of toot. But this is definitely Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't. This is one. Normally, I have a bit of background with the Marvel films. I've read it. I don't read them much now, comics, but
Hmm.
I used to use them quite a lot, so I knew about character stuff. But Guardians of the Galaxy was one that I really didn't have any clue about
Right.
uh, when the film was announced. I didn't have any background. To be honest, I probably hadn't even heard of them, to be fair,
No,
before the
no.
film got. And then, yeah, just went into the first film blank and come out just loving it and going,
Yeah.
oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's written and directed by James Gunn, who has, and again, I'm not familiar with the comic side of things, but to my knowledge, has kind of really put his own spin on this. Like the comics aren't as witty or as comedic as the film is. So, and I think that's what
Mm.
people have enjoyed. That it's actually something quite fresh in the cinematic universe, which. I think that's, if you look at the modern one, I think they started that with Iron Man in around 2008, and we're in 2017 now, so it's bound to get a little bit fatigued. But this is like a breath of fresh air. So, both fans of the first one.
Yeah.
What about the second one? Because obviously you can do the trick once, but can James Gunn and his crew pull off another positive entry into the Guardians of the Galaxy universe?
I thought that. I thought, is it going to be? It's going to be hard doing a sequel,
Yeah,
especially when it had like the characters are really likable, all four of them.
yeah,
Plus the what they call the attached cast as well.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I thought it was going to be difficult, but they've absolutely nailed it, in
So
my
you
opinion.
big fan of it then, yeah?
Big fan of the film. Yeah, yeah. I need to watch the first because I've only ever seen the first one once, which was in the cinema. I
Sure.
own it on Blu-ray, but I've never watched it again from start to finish. So I need to watch it again.
Yes.
But my current rating at the minute is I'm saying that it's better than the first one. I definitely had a better time watching it, and I think that it's better than the first one.
Yeah, I'm in that boat as well. I came out of the cinema. One of the few films I actually been to see at the cinema this year.
Mm.
And yeah, I liked the first one, but this one I really resonated more. It felt like it had a little bit more substances. I mean, we're not gonna. This is a spoiler-free review, so we're not gonna really delve
Yeah,
into the plot or what happens. But I felt like it pulled on a lot more strings in the first one. Um,
yeah.
and
I
I,
like that it's balls to the walls from the get-go
yeah,
as
yeah,
well. You sort
yeah.
of they do a real good job of reintroducing the characters, but not sort of spoon feeding it. So it's not like an origin film again. You don't
Yes.
know you get to know these characters again. But I like how it's just boom straight in action. This is what you're getting, and comedy, comedy, comedy,
Yeah.
which is fucking excellent in this film. I think that was the best part of this film. So I did think it might struggle with the last two, like last couple of Marvel films. You had Deadpool, which was an 18,
Yep.
and Logan as well. And I thought, oh, are they going down this sort of dark? Because I know a lot of people at DC they'd say, well, the DC universe is more mature, and you know,
Marvel's for babies.
exactly,
And
yeah. So
Capcom.
they brought them two out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadpool and Logan. I thought, oh, hello, they're going down this darker, serious route. So I thought, oh, maybe Guardians could suffer from this, but it's still light-hearted. It's perfect for the tone of the movie, and like I say, it's probably it's difficult actually to compare it to Deadpool's comedy, but
Yeah.
it, I may have laughed more in Guardians. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
actually. That's a tough one. That is,
Yeah.
but it's fucking hilarious. The film.
Yeah, I felt like I did, and I think generally, the kind of comedic spots in general nearly all hit. There's a few that fell a bit flat with me, but there was some nice subtle stuff in there which I really enjoyed and probably had me. I had a stomach ache at some points during it, just from cackling at various kind of
Yeah.
really really small subtle things. And obviously you've got a great cast that's returned,
Yeah.
to reintroduce the characters. You've even got, Kurt Russell making an
Yeah.
appearance in this film. He plays a big part, and even Sly Stallone, which I was pleased to see,
Yeah.
popping up in there. So they've kind
Yeah.
of,
That was interesting.
yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. I was
Ah.
really surprised. I didn't have a clue that he was going to appear in it, and it's a pleasure to see him drop into it. I mean, looking at the film overall, it's got a bit of action. It's got a bit of it's got some emotional scenes in it. It's got some comedic scenes in there. Do you think they've melded it
Yeah.
well for this particular entry? Was it the right direction? We've got a basis of one. Did they move in the right direction for this?
Yeah, I definitely think it did. Yeah, it still kept its same sort of the feel as the same
Mm,
as the first film. We still had that because I always found the first film. I imagine like taking someone who's never seen a Marvel film to
yeah,
see if they could get on with it. And I always thought that because of the sci-fi element, I could see a lot of sort of like avid Marvel watching that being a bit. It's sort of been a bit overzealous, thinking, "Cool, this is a bit nerdy, isn't it? We're all in space and all these
yeah,
different." So I'm glad that they kept that and didn't make it too sort of, you know,
down,
common or whatever.
yeah,
You
down
know,
to earth.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
anything but.
yeah.
Yeah, I like
It's
that.
still,
Yeah, it's good to have it zany and out there because that's you've got so many. Why bother bringing it sort of towards a more realistic take when you've got loads of interesting things that
yeah,
you can do in this, and I think they've done a good job with that.
yeah, yeah. No, I think the direction of the film was brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was spot on.
So one of the positives that is always mentioned in the first film is the
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Ah,
So out of the two, do you have a
yeah.
preference over the soundtrack?
I do. I do. This is one thing I was trying to think of negatives for this film, and I've
Right.
got to say that the soundtrack on this wasn't up to my scratch. I thought there's some great songs on there. The problem with me is
Oh God.
a lot of them I didn't even know. It's so old that I'm not very great with old music, but
Yeah.
there's some great tunes on here. But it didn't have that, mate, this is awesome
Yeah.
factor of the. When that first one drops and the tunes that come out of that, I still
Yeah.
play them in my car now.
Yeah.
And but this one, I was like, okay, yeah, this is some good tunes. But then I've tried to listen to it back online, and it's just not got the heavy hitters that the first soundtrack had for me.
Hmm.
But it does still keep that same tone that the first one did. So it's still a similar sort of style that is enjoyable. But that was one of its downsides for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's work towards giving a score for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume Two, which you're working on a 100-point scale,
Wow.
and which will be transferred into a percentage.
Yeah.
What is your official grading for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume Two?
So for James Gunn and the boys and girls, I'm
Yeah.
going to go for this numerical score of 84%.
84.
God, it gets a seal there. Seal of
Interesting.
approval.
That is a seal of approval, considering the Alien Covenant got what, 60?
60 it did, yeah.
Yeah, and it's tumbling every day. That is in my mind.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm happy with that. It's going to be tough to break into that into the old, what's it called, the 90 marks, the real heavy.
Mm,
It's gonna be a real touching film for me. But this was brilliant. I think it is a great film. It deserves the what's it called, the mid 80s.
yeah,
Soundtrack being a bit better might have popped it up one, get
yeah.
it to 85. Um, but yeah, for the most part of it, I thought it was an enjoyable film. Really good. Gets my thumbs up. Go see it.
Excellent. So that is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 review. Good stuff. I think I won't add anything more to what you said. It's it's got its 84. You've recommended it to people to go and see. So if you've not gone to see it, there's still time. It's still at the cinema. Go out there and watch it. Nothing more for us to say here though, apart from thanks for your time and ta-da.